Hello everyone, and this is DaseinWasHere, and today we're going to be covering the 2015 Space Bowl US Finals, Helion III versus Lemmings United. For this particular match, Helion III is shooting for a chance at redemption, being as they lost against Lemmings United during the pool phase. Lemmings United is going to be fielding double Hunter, Enforcer, Brawler, Disruptor, while Helion III is going to be fielding a double Brawler, double Corvette, Enforcer lane. Helion 3's team comp is definitely solid at holding points and close-up firepower, but does lack mobility. LEMU, on the other hand, will be definitely dictating the tempo with their mobility of the Hunters, the Enforcer, and the Disruptor, but also have the stopping power of a Brawler to help back up their team when it gets there. In Alpha Lane, you're going to be seeing a Brawler piloted by me, and you're going to be seeing the Corvette piloted by Operator. In Beta Lane, you're going to be seeing an Enforcer by Kurt, you're going to be seeing a Brawler by Southern Wolverine, and Phylar in a Corvette. LEMU is going to be fielding some very aggressive tactics in this particular match. If you notice right now, the Brawler is going to be at the center mining station, but after they capped, LEMU is going to go right toward our forward mining station and try killing our Corvette and taking the point. If you notice right now, I harpoon Operator, I drag him to me, denying them the kill, and yes, they still get the station, but we do still also get the middle station, thus setting us up for dealing with the problem and then being able to go back and recapture our forward station. And while they're capping that, if you want to take a look and notice the beta lane right now, yes, we're getting pushed back by LEMU, but we will be able to eventually get that back as, of course, the mobility of the Enforcer and the stopping power of the Brawler starts taking effect as they start getting closer and closer, and it's easier for us to defend. If you notice our Corvette pop back, that is so he can stop them from when they're about ready to go blink and try to start getting early cap points on our particular forward station. Thus, once I've gotten back behind cover and they're distracted, I am jumping back so I can jump back in and be right on top of them. And unfortunately, not fast enough to be able to stop them from killing Operator and his Corvette, but I will be able to get there in time to be able to harpoon and be close enough also to concuss their Disruptor before he can jump away and be able to secure a kill on Gravy. But Fox will escape in his Hunter. Now that that particular problem is dealt with, Operator and me are going to head right over to our forward mining station and cap that so we can start catching up in the mineral department. Right now in Beta Lane, they are getting pushed back hard, but of course, they're going to be able to leap back, being as now that they're closer, it's easier for a Brawler to defend, and then the Enforcer can then start taking the fight right to them. Right now, as you see, the Brawler is actually leaving their lane, so Max Kill's leaving there, and now Fox and Gravy are going to pop right up there in their Hunter and Disruptor and start engaging on our center station. So they're going to start trying to cap that station, which is key. And now we are going to engage where we're strong because their jumps are gone. But if you notice, Gravy launched his heal drones out and prep for the fight. Thus, I've launched my fighters in there to deal with the problem and help eliminate the Disruptor's heals, being as the Disruptor is so dependent on the heal drones to be able to give his team support. Now that I've come around and am able to get a good bearing on the Hunter, I am going to start wailing right into Fox and his Hunter and start ripping him apart. Unfortunately for me, and fortunately for him, I get disarmed by Gravy, and he is able to slip away before we can do any damage. And then I turn on him, but that was a dumb idea because, of course, he's able to then jump right over to Fox, and they're able to start again capping that forward mining station. Thus, I'm going to have to recall to go deal with the problem. This match is really much of a dance and a fire brigade to do anything than anything else. And of course, Beta Lane is now starting to pick up steam. Okay, and now that I'm back into Alpha Lane, you'll notice Operator's going to start heading back, A, escaping them because if they turn on him, he's dead, and 2, coming to back me up. And then you'll notice that the Hunter and Disruptor are going to go right toward that middle mining station because they're not going to turn around and carry this advance any further. No, it's better for them to go get those mining stations, use that mobility to their advantage, keep us on our toes because, again, they're mobile. They're going to take advantage of getting more minerals in the mineral department. This is a cat-based game, so definitely they're going for the mineral department. And right here, you're going to notice we have a couple options. Once we get the station, we can either go for them, try to get them before their cooldown on Blink is down, and engage them there, or we can stay at the center station, which is what we're going to do, and basically be able to intercept them if they try to go for our forward base or take the station. Basically, it's going to be a waiting game, because as soon as we start going for them, when that blinks up, they're going to be able to hit our forward station, and then they can either start backcapping or start getting percentages on our base. Either of which can be kind of detrimental and also can lead to us losing the game. Again, they control the tempo of this, and they're right here trying to bait us out into a fight and overextending ourselves, to which Operator was smart enough, he just sat there on that base, making sure he can conflict it long enough for me to get right over there. My Harpoon is, of course, shot down by the point defense, and Operator's going to go down in fairly short order, but again, he's bought us the time to be able to get there. Also, we have Southern Wolverine that's going to be popping in any second because we called for backup, and there's nothing they can do about it. At this point in time, they're going to be concussed, and then they're going to be caught right in between two Brawlers, which, who cares if he has heal drones on? Besides the point defensing him, two Brawlers firepower will definitely outdamage that. And poor Gravy, with nothing left to jump to, is stuck with a Brawler giving him a hug, and he is not getting away from that. Now that we've dealt with the problem here, and Gravy's gone, we will go right to gas, because gas is going to be starting to come up. Unfortunately, though, because Southern did come up to back us up in his Brawler, we did lose the advantage over in Beta Lane. Right now, Beta is fallen, and yes, we have one mining station, but we are going to go for gas. We're going to force this gas fight. This team comp is very immobile, but it is built around once you get that gas advantage, you can then push and start dictating things. Right now, Maxkel shoots a Harpoon right at one of our Corvettes. It gets shot down, and now we are going straight for Fajiri, and he is concussed and getting ripped apart by two Brawlers. Right now, after we deal with him, we're to head right toward Maxkel and his Brawler, and unfortunately there's not much he can do, as basically this mass force of nature starts heading right toward him, and the Enforcer now is going to be stuck right between two Brawlers and go down in short order. This gas fight is going on very fast, quite a few heavy casualties early on, but the Hunters are trying to stay at the edge, and the remaining survivors to slow down this gas cap, because right now, if you notice, over in Beta Lane, Kurt and his Enforcer is going for the caps, and he's continuing to push and helping us regain the advantage on the mineral department. Gravy goes down, as expected, and now Fox is taking some heavy damage, but his Blink's going to be up, and Concuss is going to be off very soon, and he is going to be able to get away before we are able to seal the deal right there. And now, unfortunately for Maxkel, he is in a Brawler, yes, buying everyone time so they can now go deal with the problem over in Beta Lane and try to stop Kurt from taking that forward station, because as soon as we have gas, if he gets that forward station, we're then able to jump over there with the gas advantage, and there's not much they can do to stop that. Maxkel goes down, but there's now two over in Beta. Kurt's going to go down, but the time he's bought us is going to allow us to get back into our lanes, back into position, and still allow us to have gains over in Beta Lane and allow us in Alpha to start getting a push up. As we advance, you'll notice that I'm starting to turn around and thinking about upgrading, but then it's like, no, gas. We got gas, so we might as well move forward. That level, being one level down with gas, is not going to be as detrimental as letting them have their blink up, because right over there you'll notice that Fox and Gravy just used their blink to get to the center station. Thus, we need to take advantage of that, go in and strike while the iron's hot, and hit them with what we can before they get their blinks back up. Right now, we've just managed to land a harpoon. We're starting to go forward and try to concuss before blink is up. And of course, as heal drones are coming forward, we launch fighters to deal with them. And then we start, again, focusing fire back on the Fox. But unfortunately, again, very mobile comp. As concuss wears off, he is able to blink away and head back and start capping the station. We turn on to the Disruptor, try to focus some fire and damage on him. But of course, he is going to then be able to turn around, blink away, and start capping that station. Luckily for us, they aren't going to be able to advance too much further, being as Operator loves rocking out his heavy smart guns. Those heavy smart guns are going to do some good damage against the broken armor of Fox. Thus, they will be able to take the point, but they're not going to be able to advance any further because they would be too easily stopped, nor would they have the health to be able to continue any sort of push or backcapping like that. Unfortunately, Fox is able to get away, but we are able to then turn around, concuss his healer, and Gravy falls in very short order to the Brawler. Now that the threat has been dealt with, we turn around and we start to cap stations, because again, caps are very important, and now we are starting to regain this lane. And while all this is going down, the lull in the fighting, I'm going to head right back to our base, then jump right back to A2, just because it's going to be much faster that way to get the upgrades, because right now there's 2 upgrades that I'm missing, and now I'm going to be able to get those 2 level advantages and be much more effective in the team fight. Right now, though, something you cannot hear is there's a conversation going on about what the gas timer is. Some of us are thinking it's ready, some of us aren't. So I make the mistake of going in there and jumping right over to the Gamma station. This is partly because if you notice that flash over by their forward base, I was thinking, oh, they must be prepping as well. Unfortunately, this is a fatal tactical mistake that nearly costs us the game, because this is going to lead off one of 2 things. We've now lost the push advantage. If we kept on going and we pushed, they would have blinked right over to that center station and wouldn't be able to sit there and contest them. We would be having a fight, and we'd be able to keep them from jumping around from station to station and dictating combat the way they have been. Right now, Operator's peppering them, and again, just doing a little bit of skirmishing right now. But right now, here's the second major tactical mistake which I made here. Instead of going back to our station or going somewhere in between where I can better defend a station, I go in thinking we might be able to hit him before the blink timer, or we might be able to hit him before the blink timer. Launch our harpoon, try to pull him in and concuss. Unfortunately, though, all that does is allow him to then blink over there because it comes up before we can concuss him. Gravy jumps right to him in his Disruptor, speeding up the cap, and now they are opening up the forward station. By the time we can turn around and try to stop this, I am disarmed, heal drones are on Fox, and thus they are able to jump out. We try to do as much damage as we can to Fox, but he is able to go right through. Then we focus on the Gravy, but again, not enough. So we have to stick around for a few seconds, close this station, because if we don't close this station, then the rest of LEMU could jump in, and we are in a worse situation. The downside also right now of this thing is, well, a Corvette and Brawler aren't the fastest things in the world. Thus, they were able to blink there. Their blink's going to be up again when they got there, so they were able to blink right into our station and start capping it. So the percentages are going up, up, up. So by the time we get there, they've gotten a good percentage down, and now we have to deal with them. Yes, Fox Hunter falls down fast, the Disruptor goes down in turn, but now we have lost the momentum. We've gotten a heavy percentage of cap on our base. But while all this was going on, you'll notice Gamma. Right at Gamma, you're going to notice LEMU had a head start. So LEMU, what they've done is they've already had someone there. They've already got it, but luckily we were able to get in there before they got gas 2, because if they got gas 2, that'd be very detrimental to what was going on. Right now, Kurt has already fallen. We've already killed one of theirs as well, and there's this now nice little fight going on at Gamma as we contest it and are trying to get control, because if we can get gas 2, we will be able to then turn this fight. Max Kell falls down in the Brawler, and then Unfortunately, Rook is stuck right in between two Brawlers and a Corvette, and he just goes down very quickly as we quickly cap gas. We get gas 2, and then we're able to go turn around and start going for the end game here. Alright, and that gas fight really did showcase the two different team comps and their philosophies. The Brawlers and the Enforcer, they're really able to hold points, they're able to do a lot of damage and absorb a lot of damage, but they're really slow and they're not able to really dictate the tempo of the game except for at the gas station. That's the one place they're really able to dictate the tempo. But on the main field, the Hunters, the Disruptor, and the Enforcer, they're able to dictate what goes on. Thus, the ball has been primarily in LEMU's court the entire time, and we've had to play defensive. Alright, if you notice, right now they were able to, they respawn, they're able to use their blink to get right there, so the Hunter and Disruptor are right at center station. This is actually to our advantage as we're able to now force an engagement there. We try focusing down the Disruptor, but unfortunately the Disruptor is too far away, so we focus on the Fox. I get disarmed, and I eat, of course, a full volley of missiles, but luckily I'm kept alive because of our healer. Again, we send fighters toward those heal drones, start opening up on Fox, and Fox jumps away. He jumps away at this point in time, fire a few parting shots at the Disruptor, and then start going to deal with that center station. Try to keep Fox, deal with the Hunter. And at this point in time, the Disruptor goes to him. Thus, Operator takes the opportunity to then start heading toward their forward station. This is going to be a key moment right there as Gravy goes down in his Disruptor. We start shooting Fox right there in the face and start going on that. But again, Fox, using his mobility, goes right toward our forward station, forcing me to start heading right home. But while all this is going on, you'll notice in Beta and in Alpha, we're both capping both of their forward stations, and LEMU is doing the same to us. So right now there's just a lot going on after gas. So I go in, I'm going to go sit in our base and see what's going on as we've swapped places with our people in Beta lane. Our Brawler and Corvette jump right in to deal with Fox and his Hunter. Operator jumps into their base, and right now I fire a harpoon at their Enforcer who broke through in Beta. So right now, he's sitting behind a rock, he's going to go jump over, and he has two options. He can either go to B where it's safe, for sure, but he knows I'll probably be following, or go right to A. He goes to A just as they jump out. So they jump right out of A. I jump right over there, right on top of Rook. Rook goes down with the concuss, and the Brawler just ripping him to shreds as the other two members of our team go right over and start working on closing B. Alright, now that Helion 3 was able to put out all the fires, we are able to jump right into their base. Currently, the big thing to note is very important that we're capping Beta lane. Yes, we're probably going to be able to take them, but if this makes sure that even if we fail at this, they're not going to be able to instantly win by going in, jumping into Beta, taking that point, and then jumping right into our base before we can respawn. Right now, you'll see the remaining defenders of LEMU are trying their best to stop a Brawler, Enforcer, and Corvette, but it is futile because now as soon as I join the scene, there's too much firepower over here, there's too many ships to stop the cap. They're trying their best to hold out, so maybe someone can respawn and maybe delay this, but that is not going to happen. This was a great match. Helion 3 eventually, after winning match 1, went on after 3 matches to win the US Championship. Thank you guys at LEMU for the great game, and as always, if you guys like this video and like the commentary, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all, and GG.